So here we go. This is level 15 of the EPT main event. Blinds are 2,000, 4,000 with a 4K big blind ante.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
And the red bubble is on screen. It will burst once we see the 288th place elimination. Action folded to Giuseppe Di Taranto. Now Mats Ullering on the button with Queen 8. The shot clock will not come into play until after the bubble has burst today, probably from the start of the second level. Griffin just picks up jacks on the very first hand. Action folded to him in the small blind. Looking at Emo Kosk's chip stack, it's around 30 bigs.
First hand fireworks.
5 raise, 13K.
Raises to 13,000. Queen 3 offsuit for Kosk. Nah. Griffin closing in on the 90 big blind mark, more than 350,000 chips. Meanwhile, Lally all in here against Wolfgang at the secondary feature table. 2-pair against a set, because in Barcelona it is always coming 7.
That is very unfortunate.
We have seen 2 more eliminations. We're down to 290 players. We could soon be down to 289. No help for Lally on the turn. She needs a queen or a 9 on the river to survive. The river is a 3. Lally is KO'd by Wolfgang Poker, and we are now at 289. We are 1 off the bubble. Get it quietly, pal. We are 2 off the money.
I cover everybody. Just kidding.
No, how you do?
No, not you, not you, not. No,
How you do?
I think you cover, yeah.
Let's go. That's my favorite hand, too. Let's go. 7. It's the best hand ever created.
He's a cowboy.
When I was 19, I got that hand, I flopped quads, and I didn't know etiquette, poker. I won a hand for like $900, and I left right away. I hit and ran. Ever since then, it's my favorite hand. Because now I think it's funny. I'm like, I'm like, why did I do that? That was so bad.
Do you have a name for it?
Pocket sevens.
My hand, I don't know. In America, we call it the hockey sticks.
Hockey 6.
The hockey, you know, hockey, like the...
Okay.
Hockey stick.
Okay.
Looks like a 7.
Is he going to act out hockey sticks?
That game? Yeah.
That's more like golf.
Stick.
Like a hockey stick.
Hockey 6.
Yeah, stick.
Not 6.
No, hockey stick. Because if you turn them upside down, they come. Yeah. Well, you could just call it the Wolfgang hand. It's easier. The Wolfgang hand, yeah.
Toby making his way over to table 5. This will be the first all-in to be dealt out. It is all-in pre. It is Alex Raymond who is in seat 3 right now, who is at risk, called by Victor Jensen, the player in the red t-shirt with green hoodie.
Toby, you're going to nail this one.
Smooth and controlled. Let's listen to Toby.
All right, players, we do have 2 all-in calls during this round, so we're going to start on table number 5. We have Victor and Alexander. Just get out. You're going to do the thing, yeah? And Alexander is our at-risk player. There is no board. Go, just the cards, right? Yeah. And we're just going to see the cards for now. So let's see the cards, please. Victor shows 2 aces.
Oh.
Alexander shows 2 queens.
Well, this could
Once
be
again, Alexander is our at-risk player with 2 queens.
He's run queens into aces.
All right, let's see a flop, please. Flop is 8, 9, jack.
Gut shot.
And the turn card, please. Turn is a 6.
So unless there is a queen or a 10 on the river, we have burst the bubble in the EPT Barcelona main event.
And the final card, please. The final card is a 10.
It's a 10 for the double up.
We do have another all-in call.
Well,
We are still 2-8-8 remaining.
Incredible.
What a squeaker.
Alex Raymond gets lucky to survive. 2 double ups during the bubble. And Toby now heading over to the secondary feature table where we have our second all-in and a call. And we saw this hand. We saw it get to the point that it's at now. Zachary Habayeb is the at-risk player. He's ahead right now with 8, but he has got to fade a lot of cards. Ricardo Saniero has ace-jack of clubs. He's got the nut flush draw, aces and jacks working for him as well.
The great migration.
Toby's minder might be the best thing to happen to the bubble ever.
I wonder at whose request that is. At his? The casino? Dude's just a big Toby fan?
I want to start seeing like a compilation video of ways in which he's like able to like get people out of the way. You know those that video of Messi's bodyguard like just doing the most insane things, like running after somebody before they get to Messi on the field. It's just like stuff like that would be so great.
We should definitely have a camera on them all day.
Siamo lì in bolla. No, però sono più deep.
No photos, please, no photos.
Okay, players, we're on table number 15. It's our secondary feature table. We have 2 players. We already have a flop of 5-5-2. We have Ricardo and Zachary. Zachary is our at-risk player. Once again, there's a flop of 5-5-2. We're going to turn over the cards and then we're going to run the remaining flop cards. Let's see the cards, please. Zachary shows ace, jack of clubs, and there is 2.
No, he's Ricardo.
Ricardo shows ace, jack of clubs, and there is 2 clubs on the board, and Zachary shows 2 8s. Once again, the flop is 5-5-2.
That's a lot of outs to fade.
Too many outs, question mark?
Let's see the turn card, please. Turn is a 4 of clubs.
4 outs for Habayeb. Needs an 8 or a 5 on the river.
Or we're in the money.
And the final card, please. And the final
bubble
card is
bursts.
a 6.
Devo fare sempre tutto io. Devo fare sempre tutto
All right, players, we are now in the money.
Oh, man.
Habayeb Bubble Boy.
Okay? Thank you.
Zachary Habayeb goes out in 288th place, taking us down to 287, taking us into the money.
Buy me a few.
I'll get you a few.
Action's folded around to Griffin, who's got the Neeners.
Neeners.
6 fold. 7 fold.
Over to Myrna in the big blind with Queen 8 suited. This feels like a Myrna defend.
It does to me too.
8 call.
Queen 8 suited. Definitely pretty.
Hello, Neener. Nine.
Yeah, right in the window.
Myrna checks.
Bender continuation bet incoming. 9,000 is the C bet.
$9,000.
Oh, drilled it that time. Yes.
You know him so well.
Yeah, I just happen to know Bender's game inside and out. He's an open book to me, chat.
Oh, Myrna's really stepped in it here.
What a time to find the check raise.
Makes it 23,000. Plenty of decent turns that. This is like a pre-semi bluff, I think.
That's a great way to describe it. I think you're absolutely right, Joe. He's looking at the backdoor properties here. That's why he's using this combination, right? He, you know, 10 of clubs, 6 of clubs, something like that gives him the opportunity to semi-bluff continue representing, you know, 2-pair plus.
Griffin going nowhere.
Griffin's licking his lips at this point. Are we going to see one of those action cards on the turn?
Yes.
Well, it improves at least. You know what I hate, Joe, is when you got a very clear like bluff line in your head.
Yep.
And then you actually turn where you're like, ah, now I actually kind of show
can't
down.
bluff,
It's weird now. Yeah. This is definitely one of those spots.
Yeah, certainly. If you were going to improve, it's not really the card you wanted to hit, is it? You wanted something, what, like the 10 of clubs?
Yeah, 6 of clubs, you know.
6 of clubs,
some kind of a straight draw, flush draw scenario. And once you get check raised here, you're definitely not going to miss a turn bet if you're Griffin. Just want to figure out how you're going to get max. Bender's got 78K behind Joe. You know what? Actually, I wouldn't even mind a check here, just because we have approximately pot remaining. But generally speaking, I think we do lean more towards betting turn.
I think also if Myrna had a genuine semi-bluff there and not the pre-semi-bluff, you might want to charge a little bit more for diamonds or...
That's it. That's it. And actually, I love Griffin's size here. It goes 25K into 73. It's 1/3. Keeps some of those speculative hands in there. You're still charging some of the draws. I can see an argument for checking turns some of the time, but I think generally speaking, what Griffin is doing is what we want. And yeah, just going to take it down. The queen doesn't get too spicy there.
Not enough of an... No draw, really. So all we're really hoping for there.
Well, he sized perfectly to get action from the exact hand that he had, but as played, gonna pick it up anyway. You guys have to remember, he's Brazilian. Oh, hello, Griffin Benger.
Couple of cowboys for Benger.
Yeah, and basically the easiest call of all time for Benger, just deciding whether or not he wants to shove or just flat. Honestly, I would love to see a flat here. I want to entice some action from jacks behind, queens behind, tens behind.
I give Griffin a hard time because he acts like such a goober the rest of the time, but he is a very talented poker player.
He is, yeah.
And capable of all sorts of creative things.
Well,
and
actually,
when he zones in like this, too, it's very impressive.
Yeah, it is. Actually, I take it back, guys. I actually didn't see how shallow, or I didn't see the stacks, I should say. It's not shallow.
Ooh.
Oh, my goodness. It doesn't matter. Ace-King wakes up and is going to run it as well. This is an absolutely crucial spot. Yeah, Benger just deciding with half of his stack as a call. He's going to put the rest in right here, right now, and this is a huge moment.
Thanks.
Two players at risk. We know that Gertz has one overcard to Benger's Kings, and yes, good news for Benger. D Toronto also has an ace.
Huh?
How many aces in this deck,
This will be
Joe?
fun. Huh?
Can
It's a bit-
Griffin fade the
Whatever
bad
happens,
beat?
I love you, Mom.
Oh,
Me too.
You love my mom?
Hi, Mom.
I love your mom. Expect trying to doink Griffin by saying they're blocking each other. No way an ace appears.
It's called Trapped. Please, everyone, check it out. I have a Kickstarter.
Thank you, Griffin. Let's hope this hand holds. I could use the plugs. 8, 7, 5, 2 hearts. Hearts not the best news.
I'll give him the 4 of hearts. Not the 9 of hearts or the 10. Nothing funny like that. But
Toronto has some hope.
We do like the excitement here at the European Poker Tour.
With running hearts.
Sponsored by PokerStars.
It's a human shill machine.
Such a goober.
Not yet. You can't say that yet.
Turn is the 9 of clubs. So D Toronto can now hit a straight.
I will not accept a chop.
Sure you get a choice
Do I
in
make-
this life, bud.
I think I lose money if the river's a 10.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Or break even.
Yeah, I bet.
What do you
I
think?
think you win 5.
Maybe.
Most of the deck good for Griffin. River
Oh,
is
no.
a 10.
Bado.
Oh, no.
You win.
D Toronto survives, triples up.
151.
You win 11K, dude.
Griffin
least I
will
will.
profit in the hand.
Yes, you did.
Barely. Everybody, Timothy Chung tonight, making it
Call.
12,000 under the gun with King Queen. Gordon out of the small blind, King Jack suited. Halran's gonna get involved too with 5 deuce off. Let's go. 6-4 deuce, 2 clubs. Let's continue, let's going. That club draw for Gordon. Bottom pair in the straight draw for Halran. Checks through, and it's a king on the turn. All right, now everybody is involved.
Yeah, well, Gordon thinks that his hand is stronger than it actually is. I mean, you still do have 45% equity, but at the moment, you are outkicked. Yeah. Okay. Equity's updated. I was like, that did seem high.
Gordon, the one firing with top pair and a flush draw.
Does feel like when the small blind leads into both the big blind and the under the gun opener here on this card, their hand's got to be fairly strong, right? You're not really going to see a lot of leads with a 6x per se into 2 players out of position. You know, even something like 7s through 10s or jacks, you know, some hands that don't 3-bet pre but is an overpair on the flop. Those aren't probably going to lead when the king appears. This is interesting. Halran called, and that got Chung to fold the best hand. He decided not to overcall with King Queen, and that's pretty surprising to me because, you know, again, I understand that Gordon's range should be somewhat strong when he leads, but I mean, he does have some worse King X's for sure. So pretty surprising to see that. I'm not really sure why why you would do that.
65.
You know.
65,000.
And I also think that Halran, if he has a hand like 2 pair from the flop or something, he probably would have raised the turn.
I don't think we can predict anything that a bunch of these players would do.
I don't know. I don't know.
I've seen multiple surprising things in the last few minutes.
And now, oh, okay, all right, I see you.
Also surprising.
I see you. I can listen. I can get on board with this. I can get on board with this. Halran folded jacks earlier, second pair to just a single bet, check 2 on the button. But now, you know, gonna turn this into a bluff. Trying to rep the 5-3, does have a 5 in his hand. You know, 7-5, 5-3, both make straights.
5.
And it's going to get through. Well done.
Wow. Excuse me, and it's Griffin Benger all in versus Bo Jin. Griffin with 10s, but he's up against jacks. No 10 for Griffin. That's going to be him.
Here we go.
Oh, he's so sad.
GG, Griffin.
He still managed to get a little cheek in for the camera. 11,600 euros for Griffin.
Harry Lodge stringing together a couple of pots and gonna also be involved with this one. Got the 6s on the button. Airy. That's the only thing I can say in like a decent English accent.
There's one word.
Just that.
Airy.
Airy. It's not hard. Do you think his parents named him after Prince Harry? I mean, do we really even call him Prince Harry? Didn't they have their titles stripped?
Yeah, I'm not really up on the... I will say that I recently started watching Suits, and man, is Meghan Markle a smoke show. Holy jeez. Do I get why she married a prince? By the way, my Suits power rankings. Donna, #1.
Never watched Suits.
Yeah, you agree with me, Hayden, right? Donna, #1 in the power rankings. I have a controversial Mad Men power rankings, #1 too. Sally Draper.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Beth's character.
You get to see her grow up and really develop as a human being, I think. She has like the best story arc, personally, in my opinion.
Looks like Madin is going to lead here with the open ender. Puts the 6s in a tough spot for sure.
Dinner break.
But if you miss, are you going to fire?
Is that a miss? 5, 6, 9, 10, 7, 8.
Yeah,
okay,
and you know,
miss.
also blocks Queen Jack, which is nice. So what's it gonna be? You know, the most obvious kind of misses are gonna be Jack X, 7X.
60.
And he's gonna put Airy to the test.
60K into a pot of 100-ish. And this looks like it's going to be called...
Well, it's just a matter of, you know, a one-pair type hand isn't really going to bet this size on the river, right? So it does feel like it's a little more weighted towards some straights and two-pair hands. You know, you do block 7-6. And he is not going to let him get away with this one.
You just got lodged. Ship it to Harry.
Nadine's just solved poker, hey? Here she is, just cruising along.
Yeah, has been a consistently big stack for the...
Hello, guys.
Hello. Just a star quality.
Second half of day 2 and pretty much all of day 3.
Here or here?
Oh, they got the shot clock on. 15 seconds.
Shot clock came out straight after the bubble burst.
Yep.
And everyone's getting used to the 15 seconds for first action.
It's a bit scary, isn't it, the 15 seconds?
It's tough.
It's tough, yeah.
I mean, it's tough.
But I think it's a worthy adjustment.
For the best players in the world, it's tough. If you're a little newer to live poker, it really is an intensification.
Are you advocating changing it back, Sam?
No. I think it's great. I just think it's the same for everyone, and you get plenty of time max. It's difficult.
Wait, 2 or 3?
So Julien Rouquet is the player who just joined the secondary feature table. We're just waiting for him to be mic'd up and to have his chip count verified, and action's underway again. We've seen the raise from Rani Nesreddin with King Jack, and we have Ahmed Niazi on the button with Jack Deuce, wisely folding.
Yeah. I mean, it must be nice for Rania. You're feeling that comfort. You know, you've already had an amazing run so recently. It's you know, it's a sort of skill, these main events. The rhythms of it, the rhythm of the bubble, the kind of slacking off that takes place towards the end of the day as everyone's a bit more exhausted.
So I had a little busto dinner with Slug Life, also known as Mark McDonald, and he was playing all day with Nasreddin before he busted, and said she was a real joy to play with, very talkative, very engaging with the players.
And we saw that in Monte Carlo when she was on the feature table, when she was on the final table.
Yeah, star quality.
Yeah.
And
getting there here.
Back and turns a very strong holding with the Jack of Clubs for backup.
Yeah, and Shiver's way too high up in his range here with the Queen 5.
And nonetheless, it does feel with, you know, the rhythm of the jet back.
Yeah,
but
it doesn't feel good that she's betting the king now.
Sort of believable.
You're hoping to improve.
Well, Dennis does not improve. Nadia does. 2 pair now.
And the surprising check back there with the kings up from Nasreddin.
Yeah, just EPT, look at this. This is the stat I want to see. Finished third, 442,000 euros, huge score, representing a third of her lifetime winnings. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's not, in my opinion, exactly optimal, but actually that kind of lower variance approach in the main event, there are arguments for it of not putting yourself in precarious positions, not risking too much. It's going to curtail your ability to bluff, for instance, but maybe that's not Nadia's style. And, you know, who are we to argue? She's a...
Yeah, and I think we can also appreciate that, you know, I think a Queen 5 is going to find a fold a lot of the percentage of the time there. She doesn't have a ton of 2-pair combos, and you know, sometimes when he has the ace-x, ace of clubs, maybe he does make some massive raise, and Nasreddin perhaps not prepared to make a big call there, or at least doesn't want to have to face it. Whatever style she's using, it has been working for her here, here for her on the EPT.
Matthew Gillingham from Canada, opening under the gun with aces.
And
his friends call him Gilly.
And just in case you're wondering, I don't know who that is. We don't all know each other.
There's only a few hundred people in Canada, but they all live several hundred miles apart.
But I had a friend ask me, he's like, oh, have you heard of this guy? Because he was on his table to start the day. I was like, no, it's just because he's Canadian.
Yeah, did you say, no, I haven't been relevant in poker for a decade? If you ask me who was number 3 on the Pocket Fives in 2013, I'll snap call.
Sam, if you don't get into comedy soon, I'm gonna kill you, man.
Oh, here we go. This is the matchup.
Oh boy. Oh no.
Oh, Dennis.
This is huge.
Dennis. You're thinking your hand is so good right now.
Okay, this is very uncharacteristic for me. I'm going to look at this through the lens of an optimist. He can't go broke here. He has got Gillingham covered.
Yes. And Gillingham with... It's quite interesting because Gillingham might decide to call here. It's a little bit weird to 4-bet small. And obviously you sort of block ace-king, so they're going to either bluff it off or have kings and put it in anyway. So, you know, this is a good play versus some parts of some region of Dennis's hands, but it might prevent him getting paid here versus the ace-king.
It definitely will, yeah.
Dennis has missed.
But your point stands. I mean, Sam, the reality is you know, there's not a lot of hands in the positions of under the gun versus small blind that, you know, Shivers is necessarily just going to get in. And you do block
think we'll
aces
get
here,
below 100?
ace king here.
Yeah, and Dennis going for a continuation bet.
Maybe.
I mean, this is just a bad board to see with ace king as well. One of the hands you're very worried about is those ace queen suited combos, which does seem believable.
Production time, production.
Gillingham, of course, got the ace of diamonds, makes it even more comfortable to just call the continuation bet. Pot back. And now Shrivers has to decide whether he wants to start turning his hand into a bluff a little bit, trying to fold out jacks through nines, trying to pressurize those holdings, interfering a bit with king, queen suited and ace queen. Obviously, we could see that that wouldn't work. There's not really value to be had once you get called on the flop.
Yeah, and the stack to pot ratio here, obviously so tricky. Gillingham with basically exactly pot left.
Oh, here comes another bet. Another barrel.
Yeah, and, you know, even two pair can't outdraw the aces here. So, Gillingham may want to call to keep in bluffs exactly. Oh, no. Oh, he does shove. He does shove.
Oh, whoops. Oh, wow, it's 103K to call.
Yeah.
I just heard a naughty word.
Is that, what have I got myself into here?
I mean, it shows how believable Shrivers' bet was. He kind of feels like, oh, he's got a good hand. I don't want a diamond to come and kill my action. And Shrivers in a bit of a pickle. Is there any king jack of diamonds here? Ace jack of diamonds. I think once we're being so low in our range, maybe we can't call. But
show your aces. Show it. One time. Show your aces one time. Yeah, I told you.
Does show them.
Queens, and I thought
Based on the
He had
reaction.
aces, 100% sure.
Oh, he's so happy about it as well. Well, heading back to the main feature table where there has been an all-in.
You called?
7-card opens.
I thought 5 people were all in then. I was like, wow, what a hand.
No, so
even my chukka is ready with this.
Savinkov is the original raiser, called by Baranski. We've now had the shove from Crondelli, called by Chung. Action back on Baranski, who folds, so it's...
I'm not certain, but I think 5 aces were folded there. So it's going to be very... Spades are going to be key here.
Yeah.
Ace,
Gonna
queen.
need
I think 3 kings and jacks were also folded, so during very thin. Delightful spot for top boy Tim Chung.
Yeah, and quite a big swing here for Chung. I mean, this is, you know, an over 30 big blind all in.
Yeah, plus the shrapnel from everyone else.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Running spades?
Running spades.
Unlucky Nick.
Running ace is not possible, as we saw.
I mean, a spade's got to come now. This guy's getting chirpy.
2 of them folded.
I told you. The other guy's to blame. Tim Chung's fuming. He's like, why have you said that? Go on, let's see 4 of spades here.
Oh.
Take care, buddy.
It is a black 5, but not the spade.
Tim, you silent killer.
What?
The chukka. I know. I think when I did that, it kind of went towards you.
GG, Nicholas.
And look, James, I don't know exactly when you were on air earlier today, and as much as you enjoyed me talking about the meta of the NHL shootouts, I imagine this is a bit more entertaining.
100%. Yeah, thanks for the extended conversation about Canadian sports. Really enjoyed it, Griff.
I thought it would be better than Dead Noise. He was wrong. Oh my gosh, and they're just dealing hands too. Like,
oh my word.
Can we get a hand off over here?
Yeah, and under 30 big blinds, we might feel that jacks is good enough to just 3-bet and call off. It's really nice to knock out overcards behind. Can get shoved on by worse pairs on occasion.
Problem is, there's just no right way to play these pocket jacks.
He will lose the hand no matter what he does, but I'm just... Gianni Just getting a little bit more to
Mini Mo.
Don't worry.
That's the one who's gonna go. Go.
Don't worry, Kian. We will be giving you TV time. You don't need
Yeah.
You will be getting coverage.
Yeah. Rein it in just a little bit.
And Kai, I don't think this is a hand that we can fold.
No.
Just a question of whether we put it in now, prevent ourselves getting bluffed down the streets, or whether we call to keep in inferior holdings.
Makes the call, and these two
No,
will go to the flop.
That's a bigger bet
Oh,
now. That's,
oh, you're right.
Yeah.
That
This 4-bet
is
called it off, yeah.
a 4-bet, followed by the shove, followed by the call. So we do have a race, a classic race
See,
at the feature
I told
table.
you, every hand it's like this. You gotta get ready.
Yeah, nice table.
Get ready.
Yeah, and this is a big
Two jacks.
moment for the young Paul Thomas. Is at risk deep in an EPT. It's a serious moment despite the levity of the
John
table.
has brought some action into the table.
Your tournament is now on dinner break for 75 minutes. And once again, during this break, we are going to raise up 120.
Oh!
Jack high flop. No emotion. Ace queen drawing thin. Ace queen drawing dead. Brzezinski gets the double up through Horan, and will now be playing 442k. That means the shortest stack at the feature table is 55 big blinds deep.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
remarkable. Savenkov with the suited ace. These hands so good to raise from all positions.
There's a very good dry cleaners next to Holland Park Tube Station.
Yeah.
And yes, I have to correct you on the geography. It's West London, Sam.
Ah, yes. Yes.
Right next to Notting Hill.
Yeah. I call Notting Hill South London, but that's not the right way of thinking of it, yeah. It's not really my ends.
48.
7 raise, 48,000. Big fold.
And Chung has been active. We saw him 3-bet the King-9 suited. I mean, not too out of line. Schwippert. This is a bit of an unnecessary tank from Schwippert. He will fold. And Kiani, desperate to get involved. A man that loves action. Out of position with pocket fives versus raise and 3-bet though. Oh, wow. I'm very surprised at this. And he will hood flat out of the big blind with pocket fives. This is juicy.
Sick of waiting.
And Savenkov now. I mean,
what do you do with ace 3 suited now?
40,000 into 32,000 into 124,000. Very weird. Will call 3-way 3-bet pots.
This is
why you tune in to EPT broadcasts. And Chung going to be a little bit shook by this.
Confused. Ace, deuce, deuce.
Yeah, and Kiani has drawn Savenkov into the maelstrom here because the Russian flops top pair, and Chung gonna be delighted.
The maelstrom, word of the day.
Gonna be hoping, could Kiani have an ace queen or ace jack suited? Savenkov, lots you can get value with. Board that we don't want to necessarily bet very big, sort of lockdown. Exploitatively, we could think about sizing up. But in general, I think we want to bet very, very small. As many hands are dead. And this, I think, is just a product of his actual hand. Tim Chung, someone that knows how to build a stack, feels that the big blind's basically inelastic. If they have an ace, they're going to call any size, and so will put in a bit more money than perhaps his range wants to. You can see Kiani agonizing, but nothing we can do with fives, and Savenkov trapped. Does have a couple of nice backdoors.
Yeah.
So makes the call, and we are going heads up to the turn.
Five of hearts was folded, though, I believe.
Yeah, disappointing. Queen of clubs.
Yeah, Chung not going to be, I mean, overjoyed to see that hand, but when we factor in the price he was getting, he will also be able to picture that there's other ace X in range.
Any prospects he just checks back here?
No, I think he's going to bet again. I mean, I would just elect to treble off. I mean, ace. I mean, the thing is the only offsuit ace he's probably got is ace queen. That's the worry with the queen.
Yeah.
Every other ace is suited. So yes, every turn brings a potential outdraw, but an 8, a 7, a 6, etc. are less worrisome. And so
yeah, and of course Savenkov now, you know, chopping with any other ace. If Chung, say, did have a bluffy ace pre-flop, at best chopping now that the queen is in play.
And I would have loved to see him consider a fold there. This pot now very, very big. He's going to make Chung put it in.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance that Tim just thinks,
yeah, at
wow,
this
everything got, this hand got a little out of control.
Now you have to be concerned. I mean, that jack in particular, Sam. Are we finding the check back here much of the time? If we also expect that Savenkov's going to fold a great deal of the time with his other aces.
I don't think Savenkov's got ace jack off. I mean, that's the question. I mean,
ace jack suited, yeah. Ace queen off, ace jack suited was.
So there's two ace jack suiteds. I wouldn't mind wimping out in a main. And, and that's understandable. I mean, that's fine. How often do you play a three-way, three-bet pot? Who knows how tight the ranges are? And he sort of put his money up front with that bigger C-bet. And that's a $500,000 chip pot for Timothy Chung. 194 big blinds.
Huge.
A very experienced poker player with a big, big stack approaching the business end of this tournament. Very exciting for UK poker fans.